Welcome back to Toledo Clinic TV. Registered dietitian Nancy Flaherty is our guest, and we're here to talk about food. Everyone loves food, and yet everybody struggles at some point or another with maintaining a healthy balance with food.
Yes.
It's a huge struggle.
Yes.
There are some things that we hear about that might be true.
Yes.
Things that we hear about that might not be true, that are myths.
Right.
So let's dispel some of those right now.
Yes, I think one of the biggest problems is going onto the internet, and I'm guilty of going on the internet and looking things up too to find out the answer. But it seems like a lot of people now go to the internet to find the answer. And what happens is the internet is a good source of nutrition, and it's a good source of lots of information, but it's also a bad source of information too. So what you have to do is, if you're going to go to the internet and look for things, you need to make sure that who's the source? How many studies did they do? If it's too good to be true, it's probably not. That's one thing. So as far as the myths are concerned, one of them is sea salt. That's probably one of the most popular items right now. Everybody wants to change to sea salt. Nothing wrong with changing to sea salt. But what they're usually doing that for is to decrease the sodium in their diet. There's the same amount of sodium in sea salt and in regular salt. The only difference is maybe a few trace minerals that really won't affect your health. And regular salt is has iodine in it. It is, and we definitely need some iodine in our diet for our thyroid function. So by eliminating regular salt, we've eliminated iodine. Now I know that we have other foods that we can get that from, but it is one thing to think about. And the other thing is, if you really want to cut down on your sodium, you're not going to do it by switching over to sea salt.
It's just watching your total intake.
Right.
Sodium.
And sodium, and basically 2,300 milligrams is what they're recommending, and we probably eat 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams a day. Most Americans do.
One of the most popular fads for a while was the no-carb diet.
Yes.
But we need
Still
carbs.
Is.
Yes, but we need carbs, right?
We absolutely do need carbs, but we need healthy carbs, and there's where the difference is. There's, I think the American public does eat too many simple carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates being our junk foods, candy, cookies, cake, pies, beverages, sugar beverages, very popular now, especially with the younger generation. They get a lot of calories in through sugar beverages. So those are simple carbohydrates. They have a small place in our diet, but if you want to go to, when we talk about healthy carbohydrates, there's a lot of healthy carbohydrates, and they're good for you, and they do have a place in a diet, and that would be like whole grain breads and whole grain cereals and pastas and fruits and vegetables and low-fat dairy. They're all good sources of carbohydrates, and they're healthy carbohydrates. Excess calories puts on weight, and we really can't blame it on one food. It's just a matter of portion control and making sure that we make good choices in moderation.
And it's hard because you go to a restaurant and the
is.
size of the pasta dish they serve you.
Right.
So you recommend dividing that portion up right away.
Take that portion. I know when I go and I will order lasagna, one of my favorites. I mean, it's the whole plate. And you just look at it, and if you start eating it, pretty soon you're going to eat the whole thing, unless you put that away, because I'll do the same thing. Pretty soon you're eating, and it just tastes so good you can't put it away. But if it's in a container and it's next to you with the lid on it, you're like done, and you've finished up, and eat your salad. I always say that if you have anything that has a lot of calories in it, have a salad, a vegetable along with it, so you fill up with that. If you have pizza, have a salad with it. That way you're just not sitting and eating pizza, you're actually getting something healthy and lower in calories with it. It's a good way to offset things.
All right, good advice.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.